This is a CC Radio podcast.
This week we travel back into the Upside Down as we review Season 3 of Stranger Things.
Welcome to Comic Confidential, the weekly show where we discuss our favorite things from popular culture. My name is Kate.
And my name is Troy, and we are joined by a very special guest, or rejoined, I should say, by a very special guest. She was with us when we talked about Game of Thrones Season 8. She hasn't quite recovered from that yet, but she's back with us. It's Rachel.
Hey.
Hey.
Damn.
Yeah.
She's wearing like a Game of Thrones shirt and she's just crying into it. It's so weird and I feel gross.
I can't stop.
It's basically, I said this on the Patreon only show, but it's time to move on, Rachel.
I can't.
It's time to move on. Game of Thrones is done. We're here to talk about Stranger Things now. You've had a whole season of Stranger Things. How can you even think about Game of Thrones Season 8 anymore?
I don't know. I need help.
You need help.
Just a side question. Was
Yes.
this the shortest season of Stranger Things?
I feel like it was.
You know what? I didn't actually pay attention.
Because I thought the first season was 13 episodes and I had a feeling that season 2 might have been 13 or maybe last season was 10.
I thought last season was 10.
Yeah.
How many was it this time?
It was only 8.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. But you know what? I'll find out for you.
Oh, thank you.
So why don't you guys
Whoa.
chat amongst yourselves while I do that?
All right. Well, Rachel, do you want to kick it off? What were your overall thoughts? Now, I'm going to put a big disclaimer. This is all spoilers.
Yeah, everything's
Because-
spoilers. I loved this season.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Because-
I really enjoyed it.
There's been a lot of talk on the internet that this is like the shittest season of Stranger Things.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about, really.
I think everyone's watched a different show.
I think so too. I really, really loved it.
Can I just interject for a second?
Yeah, sure.
I have some information
Ooh.
for you all.
Okay.
Season 1 was 8 episodes. Season 9 was 9 episodes, and season
okay.
8 is also season 3 is also 8 episodes.
What are they doing? Fucking with us.
Yeah, I would also say that probably stop listening to people on the internet.
No.
Honestly,
Well, season 2 did have that one random episode in it that a lot of people reckon shouldn't have even been there.
people fucking hated that thing.
Is that the one where 11 went away?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she meets 8.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I really liked that.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I thought it was like, well, that's opening up the Stranger Things universe.
Yeah.
Only for it to never be mentioned again in this season.
This season,
Yeah.
they
This
might bring it
season.
back at some point, but yeah, I don't know. It's the
Yeah.
internet, baby.
Mm.
It's angry.
Oh, yeah.
It's always angry.
It's an angry, dark place.
Because I was watching the start of this season and I was like, I'm sure like 11 went like haywire for a little bit last season because I do a big recap at the start of this season. I was like, am I imagining this?
Oh, they didn't even really mention it, did
Not at
they?
No, she did. Basically, she went away and like she ran away trying to find like her mum and stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. And she kind of went off the rails a bit. But then she came back and she smashed up the mind flayer and she closed the gate. Or did she?
Oh,
Turns out.
no, she didn't. She did a half-assed job.
Yeah, she did a half-assed job. It's like
I mean,
if you're going to
really?
stitch it up,
Yeah,
stitch
do
it
it.
all the way up.
Do it properly.
Don't leave gaps or holes or, whatever for little, little
You know what
bastards
happened?
to come through.
It's like when you get stitches. They didn't get the stitches out and then it got infected and it
Yeah.
opened it back up
Ah,
again.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. But then she came back and she effectively saved the day. And then, she kind of like realized that the people that she was with are the ones that, care about her and stuff like that. And then we jump forward a little bit.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
she's had a full amount of time to get well and truly past that and to be with the ones she loves.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So you really enjoyed this season,
I
Rachel?
really enjoyed it, yeah.
That's
I
good.
did.
What about you, Troy?
I loved it. Honestly, I watched this show in about 22 hours.
Yeah, right.
And the only reason it took me that long is because I thought I'd be really cool and try to like knock it all out in one go. And I got to
That
like
ain't cool.
2:00 in the morning and I was just like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. And I went to bed and I had to wake up the next day and watch 3 more episodes. I loved it. I love these kids. I loved this. This is kind of, I will bring this in just purely for a second. I don't want to harp on it for too long or anything, but I have finished watching Jessica Jones season 3.
Okay.
And Jessica Jones season 3, along with Jessica Jones season 2, has some of the shittest side story bullshit that is absolutely pointless, like just a waste of time and purely there for a filler for 13 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every single side story or side quest, if you will, in Stranger Things season 3 was interesting, and I gave a shit about all of them.
And it all mattered.
And it
All
all
of
mattered in the
them?
end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, all of them.
Ooh.
What are you looking at me like that for? You're talking about Nancy and Jonathan.
I'm talking about Nancy and
It
Jonathan.
matters.
Why does everyone hate on Nancy and
I
Jonathan?
love Nancy and Jonathan.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, I love them. I love them. I love Nancy.
Yeah, I
Do
love
you?
Jonathan.
That's who. No, I don't love either of them
Really?
at all.
Wow.
All right, well,
Well,
I don't really need to go sort of too much more into it, but what about you?
Oh, mate, this is my favorite season of Stranger Things. I feel like this.
Damn.
Yeah. This show just gets better and better with each season. And I think it's because we're seeing these kids growing up and
Yeah.
they're getting like growing issues, growing pains.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's good because like we're
Sick
seeing
80s reference,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Did it hit?
It,
Oh, I was thinking of him like go for it. I'm like, no, I don't.
yeah, just
Should-
go
I
for
should-
it.
I should
Always go for it.
Always go for it.
Yeah, if it's there,
if
just
you
go
nail
for
the
it.
landing, it's good. But overall, man, Stranger Things season 3, home run.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely. What I really liked about it is that it started to bring this real horror element.
Yeah, I would as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most definitely.
Because, I mean, we got like little touches of that in Stranger Things season 1, season 2.
Yeah.
But I think it's because these kids are starting to mature a little bit, and that means the audience will be maturing with them.
Yeah.
They're starting to get like into that real horror realm, and I am digging it.
Basically, the Mind Flayer represents puberty.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Yeah. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's a menstrual cycle coming after you.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ew.
like male and female
Yeah.
puberty, Cade.
Yeah.
Goes
Oh,
both
sorry.
ways.
Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
Anything else that you guys want to say about it before we kind of get into some of the categories that I have for this particular season? Anything else?
Look, I think the effects are killing it. Like,
yeah.
the
Oh,
budgets that
yeah.
they have for this show must be fantastic because the effects in this, I couldn't fault them
Yeah.
like at all.
We've spoken about this before. I think you brought it up once upon a time about how Netflix kind of refuses to go past 3 seasons because usually everybody gets paid too much and
Yeah.
they can't really afford to do it. So they just can it,
Yeah.
which is why a lot of shows, you won't see them go past that sort of 3rd season. But Stranger Things is such a hit for them that
Oh, they'll
there
be
is-
crazy to
that-
get rid
yeah,
of it.
There's
Yeah, that's
absolutely
right.
no way they'll finish it before it's time. This broke every streaming record
Oh, did it really?
Yeah.
that they've had previously. Not that we know exactly what those things are, but
they just say it.
I would like to know the numbers and what those sort of.
It'd be a really hard thing to measure though, because you guys probably watch this with your family or your partner.
Nope.
Well, but most people would.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, do they like go, oh, on average, there's 2 people watching it. So we had 20 million viewers.
I think it's just based on households or
And
like
how
accounts.
many devices are streaming
Yeah,
it
maybe.
at once?
Yeah, per household.
Mm.
But either way, apparently it was a record breaker.
There you go.
And I can see why. Like, I really like these. I really like these kids. I like the fact that we get to see them a little bit more grown up. And you see, like, this is probably the characterization. I reckon of this show is probably done better than most others
Yeah.
because it's one of those shows that they can bring in brand new characters. Like last season, they brought in Max and Billy, and this season they bring in Robin and Erica as an example.
yeah.
Alexi, you could probably throw in there.
Oh, yeah.
And you give a shit about them almost instantly.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Fair point.
To a point.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
You know what I mean? So I know there are people out there that might disagree with some of those characters, but my point is more that we had an entire season to sort of love everybody else, but they have this real knack of being able to bring in these characters that you care about sort of pretty quickly. So I like that.
And considering that Alexi couldn't even speak English, like he was like translated through another character.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
still cared for him. It's like, God damn,
Yeah.
that's really good writing. That's good directing. That's good everything.
Yeah,
That
he's
is.
definitely a fan favorite. Is there anything that you didn't like from the season? We may get into some of it in some of the categories a bit later, but anything like any standout sort of thing that you didn't care for, Rachel?
No, well, I mean, aside from not
Nancy
just
and
not
Jonathan.
aside from just not giving a shit about their silly little, workplace storyline there.
Yep.
There's not really anything else that I can fault it for. I think that they did a really, really great job
Yeah.
of making everything really relevant and yeah.
Cool. Cade?
Look, it's a technology thing where we see the Mind Fray kind of screaming around town, and it almost seems to be doing it without anyone noticing. But
Oh yeah.
and if you think about it, maybe back in the 80s that could happen, but in today there'll be people like
Live streaming
live
it.
streaming it,
Yeah.
and taking photos.
So
And
this is Hawkins, Indiana in 1985, Cade.
oh mate, I'm sure you could go down like a little back alley road these days, and if something happened, someone would be live streaming it
Yeah.
or Snapchatting it or TikToking it, and but
Stop referencing TikTok every episode.
I get paid.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And yeah, essentially, I kind of wonder is that whole town naive? Because we have to remember, it is a little tiny town.
Yeah.
And it is on the 4th of July. So they're at the 4th of July fete or whatever
Yeah.
that may be. But surely there is just other people around town who would be like, is that a fucking monster?
Yeah.
Possibly, but I would say it's kind of more to a point that the town is so small that something like a brand new mall or like the 4th of July fair that the mayor put on or something would drive pretty much
Everyone
everybody
there.
to
Yeah.
there. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I can look past that.
That's a
sort of
pretty
stuff.
big mall for a little town.
That mall was huge.
The Starcourt Mall. Hell
Yeah.
It was huge. It's bigger than ours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know what the population of 1985 Hawkins, Indiana is, but I'd
I couldn't imagine it'd be
hazard a guess that it's probably less than what we have.
under
Yeah.
100,000,
Absolutely.
under 50,000.
I wouldn't be that small.
Yeah, it would.
Did they say? No.
No.
You never
Oh.
see an entering Hawkins.
Yeah.
In this season, you see a leaving,
leaving
Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Yeah.
And the world's smallest sign.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I guess there was no budget left for signage.
No.
They used it all on the what do you even call that big monster? Because it's not the Mind Flayer. It's kind of the weapon that the Mind Flayer created to effectively defeat L. Right?
I think they just called it
I
the
called
Mind
it the
Flayer.
Mind Flayer.
Yeah. Because I thought that was just the consciousness of that monster.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Like it was the Mind Flayer personified.
They did reference the fact that it was purposely creating a weapon, and that thing was the weapon.
And I guess the Mind Flayer
But-
is the driver of that weapon.
Yeah, possibly.
Maybe.
It's the Mind Flayer's bus.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
call it the Mind Flayer's bus. If anybody does actually know the answer to that question, I would really like to know.
What did you think of how that thing started to become?
I was a little confused initially.
Yes.
I have rewatched the first and second episodes now that my partner's getting on board with it now.
Mm.
She couldn't jam it out in 22 hours like I can. She's weak like that.
Sad. Pathetic.
But yeah, she's getting around to it now. So I watched the first two and it kind of makes more sense. It's almost like it initially tried to create itself with rodents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there wasn't enough
And then
there.
just sort of realized that this isn't going to work. So we need people. So we'll get the hottest dude
yeah.
to try
Hello.
to recruit townsfolk, as it were.
Okay, real question. Are those people dead?
Yes, they say.
Yeah, they're gone.
because
Yeah.
they reference at the end that 30 people died in the mall accident or
Oh,
whatever. yeah.
okay. Did
Yeah.
they?
Yeah,
Ah, right.
So they do reference that those people are legit dead.
It only took 30 people to make that.
30 people and a ton of rats, Kate.
Yeah,
Like all the rats in Hawkins,
All of the
Indiana.
rats.
maybe.
I liked how they they got to a point that they just exploded into a mass of goo and then
Yes.
just slid in and joined.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. I thought it was really well done.
That
Well-
was very 80s horror movie. I
Yeah,
loved
very
that.
like the Blob.
The
Boys
Blob.
or
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was cool. 80s references again, hitting it out the park, as
Yes.
always. The only thing I would say, the only thing that kind of shit me a little bit, and we've got a category about it later, there are quite a few kind of unanswered questions throughout this series that it's kind of like they reference a few things and then they kind of never go back to it. We'll get into those a bit later, but yeah, that's probably my only thing. There's a couple of things that it's kind of like, well, did any of that matter? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's probably my only deal.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the thing with Stranger Things is it's all about relationships this season.
It is.
Yes.
So it was like very much lots of like buddies.
Coupling.
Yeah, coupling. Like this couple working with that couple and things like that.
Yeah.
And little teams
Yeah. Which
gave
I mean,
themselves names.
yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have any favorites? Do you want to go through a couple of I guess people you gave a shit about?
Yeah. Look, I guess, do you want me to read off the list and then you guys can pick or maybe pick off the list?
Yeah.
If there's not one there. Do you want to do a quick, I mean, obviously it's all hits. I just want to make sure.
absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, excellent. I will just reference what the guys out there in the world had to say. Basically, only had a chance to. We're recording super early this week, so we only got a quick day poll up. But we had 84 hits, 6 shits again, 6
Ooh.
just like Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Damn.
Wow.
There's a trend going on.
6 people out there hate Joy. I'm not saying it's the same 6, but
There's a good chance
there's
it
a
is.
good chance it's the same
Yeah.
ones. And 0 for Split.
Wow.
So there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
So massive hit on our hands. So relationships, we had the ones that I put on the list anyway. We've got Mike and Elle, obviously is the main one. We've got Max and Elle, which kind of kicked off early and then faded into obscurity a little bit sort of towards the end.
Yeah, their friendship.
Yeah, kind of. It was super important for the
character growth of
the
Elle.
character growth of Elle and
Yeah.
the story
Yeah.
prior to everything kicking off.
I think that, but I feel like that, like it's not a relationship. That friendship did its course.
Yeah, it
okay.
served its purpose.
Yeah.
It did,
Yeah.
yeah. I've got Billy and Mike's mum on there. Who
Yeah.
you told me what's her name? Karen
Karen.
Wheeler.
Karen's got
Nancy
it
and
going on.
Jonathan. Obviously, that's a divisive one. Steve and Robin. We've got Max and Lucas. Dustin and Susie,
Bless.
which we'll talk about in a sec. Hopper and Joyce, Hopper and Elle, or Alexi and Murray. Who's your favorite?
Oh, look, how about we just go through these and just talk about the things that we liked and disliked from all
Oh, you
of
want
them?
to do that? There's
Yeah.
so many of them.
Oh, well,
Okay.
man, it's a good season. I think like these characters, like these pairings were really well done. So I think they warrant a little bit of discussion.
Okay, sure.
Mike and Elle, I really liked this little relationship that they had going on. And I really liked how Hopper was like 3 inches minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
really liked it. And what was so good about that is that became like the backbone of this whole season
Yes.
because it was all about Hopper finding his like humanity or, you know, finding his feelings again.
Yeah.
And that's in a way that he could portray them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it becomes that like absolute heartbreaking moment right at the end of the season, which like you motherfuckers cried.
I cried. I cried like a baby.
Did you?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't cry, but I was upset.
I had so many allergies.
Yeah. There's a lot of dust
Someone was
around.
cutting onions.
Very dusty.
Absolutely. So yeah, I think Mike and Elle's relationship is obviously the backbone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it really steered the whole way this season went. And I think they absolutely nailed it. Long distance relationship when you're 13 years old or
Oh,
however
it's
old
going to
they
be
are.
tough.
Man.
It's going to be
Yeah,
tough.
but they've been through a lot. So
Yeah.
there's some room there, I think, for it to kind of grow and blossom and whatnot. I think it's great that they got some distance during this season in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of made them stronger for sure.
Yeah, and they kind of organically got back together.
And if Elle ever gets her powers back, then
Which she will.
she can just
100%.
sneak in on Mike while he's doing whatever,
Doing
like
whatever
taking a
he's
shit, like he
doing.
said. You know, what if he was taking a shit? Yeah. No, look, it was good. I think Mike was a little bit annoying at times because of it, where like the focus was so much just on that, and it was kind of like that's all that this kid keeps talking about. But you know,
It was a little bit unrealistic in that sense.
yeah. Other than
Do
that,
you think
though.
so, or was it realistic?
I don't know.
Because kids that age can get quite obsessive.
Maybe.
Oh, that'd be like completely
Maybe.
neurotic.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense, I guess. It was just, you know, it's kind of, it was getting to a point where it's like, you know what, Will's right. Can everyone just shut up talking about their girlfriends and, you know,
Let's play.
let's play Dungeons and
Let's play
Dragons or something.
D&D.
Yeah.
Bless his heart.
Yeah. Max and Elle.
Yeah, well, I mean, we kind of touched on that earlier, but I think it was great to see somebody bringing Elle to the surface.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like letting her find her own personality, her own style.
Yeah, giving her a
and
chance
everything
to.
like that. And, you know, because she's had this history of sort of not being human. And I think that Max was able to kind of coax that humanity out of her
Yeah,
a little bit more
definitely.
even than Mike could.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a completely different sort of perspective. All she's really known is effectively Mike and Hopper,
Yeah.
you know.
I really like Max as a character
Yeah.
because she's like the ball buster of the group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
And,
don't
like,
take no shit.
Yeah, she don't take no shit. Like she's had a hard life. She's got a hard ass brother. Got a hot ass brother.
Hey.
Yeah, that's maybe what I should have said.
Yeah.
And kind of always being second fiddle in that family because of that.
Yeah.
So she really stands out. She's strong. She's powerful. Just dig her.
Digger.
Digger.
Yeah.
Billy and Mike's mom. Karen.
Mike's mum is a hoe.
Oh, damn.
Ooh,
She didn't go ahead with it.
Hello.
Might as well have.
Oh, relax.
Nah.
I think it's weird that Billy's probably 17.
Billy is the same age as her daughter.
Nancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
they're out of high school now.
Well, actually, even so.
Yeah.
Even
Oh, look,
so.
18 tops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy's 18 tops.
It's a massive
it's a
cougar
bit strange.
situation.
Huge.
Massive
All
cougar
those
situation.
thirsty mums down at the pool.
Oh, yeah.
I would be with them. I'm not even going to
Wow.
lie. I'm a thirsty, thirsty mum.
Would you be in your like full face makeup, sick one piece and high heels like
Yeah.
all of them were?
If it were the 80s, I would be.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Actually, did you see that they did like a workout video with Mike's mum?
yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty funny. Yeah, anyway, we don't really need to talk about that for too long. It wasn't really much of a relationship. She kind of wanted it, but then realized that it was wrong.
Hey,
Good on her. Because
How-
Billy
how
was
bad-
fucking evil by
he,
that point.
well, he was getting evil.
No.
How much did you gasp when like Billy had the vision of like cracking her head?
yeah. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
I thought, oh fuck, that's legit.
Yeah.
she did.
It fooled me, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's next, Nancy and Jonathan? Why do you hate them so much?
I just don't care about them.
Yeah.
Rachel, this was like a pretty strong storyline for the season.
Was it though?
Yes, because it led to us finding out that this goo becomes like the
All that they were there to do is drive the car and get some info.
Drive the car and get some info. That's all they did.
That's all they did was drive the car and get some info. So sorry, they got the info first and then they were just driving the car for the kids.
Yeah.
Well, the
That's
townsfolk of
all they
Hawkins,
were
Indiana,
there for.
disagree with you.
That's all they were there
No.
for. I don't care about their relationship. I just don't care. They annoy me. They
Look,
just annoy me.
Look, fair enough. I thought those two were out living on their own.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It
But
seemed
they're
like
not.
it, but they're
Yeah,
not at all. Yeah.
They're not. They're living at Joyce's house.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. That's weird.
Well, he's
they
still
are
living
weird.
at Joyce's house and she's kind of sneaking around.
Yeah.
That's why she's hopping out the window, I think. Did she hop out the window or did he? I can't remember.
No, she hopped out the window.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that.
Did you even watch this show?
But
Kate?
Joyce knows what's going on, so she doesn't need to hop
Yeah,
out the
that's what I
window.
mean. Like, what's so-
Joyce is just like, oh, ha 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 ha.
What's so secretive about it?
Yeah, I don't, because Nancy's annoying. That's why.
Wow.
Look,
I don't want to annoy your mum, so I'm going to climb out the window.
I'm gonna move on from this one. This is getting too heated.
Hey, no, hang on.
No, come on. Tell us why
Because-
you like Nancy and Jonathan. I'd love to know.
Well, look, Nancy's a fantastic character. And if it wasn't for this storyline, we wouldn't know that the other townspeople that were starting to become affected by the Upside Down.
It's true.
Yeah, that's true. You could have achieved that with another character, though.
How?
Like, there didn't need
No.
to be Nancy and Jonathan.
It was fantastic the way it was done.
You could have done it with anyone else.
After all those two have done for you over 3 seasons of this show,
I
and
wish you all
that's,
could see
know,
my face right now because
She is livid.
I just don't care about them.
Let's move on.
Okay.
Steve and Robin,
Love it.
Love it.
the Scoops Ahoy team.
My God. This was so good. The way it ended, fucking,
Yeah.
I could have stood up and clapped.
Yes.
How do you mean though?
Oh, just with it coming out that Robin's gay
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
and Steve just handling it like a boss.
He did.
Yeah.
He took it really well.
That's because Steve's the best.
I love Steve.
Steve is the best. Straight up rejected, but just like, you know what? I got all them kids.
Yeah.
That's all I
Yeah.
need.
Because like I was buying into the fact like, oh, is it the drugs talking? I'm like, no, this is Steve being smooth.
Yeah. No, it's Steve like
Finally
bearing
being
his
smooth.
Yeah.
bearing his soul.
Yep.
You know?
And then he just gets like emotionally shat on and she's
Yeah.
like, Yeah.
Yeah, not actually about you, Steve. It was about the chick that was looking at you.
To be fair, Robin did lead him on
How?
a fair bit.
Do you think so?
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I do.
How so?
Not intentionally.
I would say the only way that would be true is by omission of just not openly saying, "Oh, I'm a lesbian."
Yeah, maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't
Yeah.
really think she was kind of
I
like.
think that the only way he'd have been let on if he was just, well, he clearly did misinterpret things
That's
along,
what I mean,
along
yeah.
the way, but that's not her fault.
That's his fault.
Because
Don't make me.
bless him, he's just
don't
clueless.
make me hashtag me too, UK. I'll do it, mate. Max and Lucas kind of took
Cute.
a
That's cute.
little bit of a sidestep though. Like it was kind of it was kind of there to show kind of that like they have like Max has an experience with it's effectively that relationship was there so Max could help Elle and Lucas could try as best as he could to help Mike.
Yeah, I think they were there as kind of a shining example of what a relationship could and should
shouldn't
be,
be.
or shouldn't be. Yeah, but they were there to definitely show a difference. You know,
Yeah,
because they were quite different to Mike and Elle.
And then I just don't think it really went anywhere from there though.
No, well, it wasn't very overt.
Yeah.
I think they're meant to be that stereotypical couple that you hear that you see these people when you're in high school. They're on again, they're off again, they're on again, they're off again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After high school's done, they get married, they're bogans, they have 3 kids,
God.
and they have a burnout car.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
what
they're
they would do.
Can't we
probably
hope
only in
for
a
more?
relationship because they're friends as well, and they hang out with each other, and they're like, yeah, okay, he's there, she's there, whatever, it's easy.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's talk about Dustin and Susie.
Oh,
Oh my god,
Dusty Poo.
Dusty Bun,
Dusty Bun and Susie
Poo.
Poo. Sorry, yeah, my mistake. This look,
Is she hotter than Phoebe Cates?
hell no, hell no.
You know what? But to him,
Phoebe Cates makes
she
a cameo
is.
in this friggin' movie with the cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
But proving that she's
That-
far more. Anyway, look, let's just talk about the one thing that matters, and this is the never-ending story song break.
That was the best thing I've
What
ever
did you
seen.
guys think?
I didn't dig it. I thought it was hilarious, but for the moment that we were in, I was like, it went on for too long.
Yeah, that was my thing.
Like
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but it went on for probably 2 times too long.
I think if at some point, like,
Hopper jumped in
Yeah,
and
or
said,
so-
"What the fuck?" I go?"
yeah, exactly.
Or even if they cut away from it and then cut back, and it's like, oh my god, they're still singing.
Yeah.
Something
That
you
would
know,
have been funny
but
too.
to do the whole kind of 2 verses of the song was probably a bit too much. I thought it was cute. I thought it was fun. But yeah, it just went on a bit too long.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen somebody just kind of like Erica does at the end where they're doing the whole Dusty Bun and Susie
Yeah,
Poo
and she
thing.
cuts it
she
off.
cuts it off.
Yeah.
Something similar to that, just to stop it. Just give me one verse and the chorus, and then we're done.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
you liked it?
I did love it though.
Yeah, I mean it's cute and all, but
Just went
but
on
I
too
do
long.
take the point that it went on too long.
and Dustin's got some pipes on him too. Kick and sing.
Yeah.
Cute. It
Yeah.
was so cute.
All right, we've got to move on. We can't talk about all these things for too long. So let's jump into Hopper and Joyce. What do y'all think?
Man, Joyce is a really hard character to get on board with.
Really?
Yeah. She's like so close to being borderline crazy.
Yeah.
That was season 1.
Yeah, well, season 1, season 2, and then like even in here, man, it's just like what's just wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like I understand, like she
But
lost
she's
her
been through so much though.
Yeah, but so has everybody else.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like absolutely everybody else. I mean, Hopper lost a kid.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like that's more than
That was years ago.
yeah, that was like so long
That was
ago.
so long ago.
He should be totally over that. But I mean, like Joyce lost a guy that she was interested in.
Bob.
Super
Bob.
Bob.
R.I.P. Bob. But yeah, I don't find her enjoyable.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough.
That's fair.
I really like them as friends, as a team.
Yeah.
I think they work really well together, but I don't think, like, as far as a romantic relationship is concerned, as much as Hopper would like that to happen,
Yeah.
I don't think that it would ultimately work. I think that they are a great team, though.
Right. So you're not shipping Jopper?
Nah.
That's what I'm
Nah.
calling it.
Nah. Hopper's way too good for her.
Oh,
He is.
No, I actually agree with that.
That's fine. I'm
I
not
think he
disagreeing.
deserves
It just,
better.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
He puts his heart on the line for a man who's like battle torn and got a lot
he
of shit going on.
didn't. That's kind of the point.
No, he did.
Like for so long he hadn't. This is
Yeah.
his whole redemption. Not so much a redemption story, not like that, but this is kind of, him finding his ability to love again, essentially.
Maybe.
And then finally, when he does put his feelings out there and his heart on the line,
It cost him his life.
He
yeah,
did.
Yeah.
Or is he? We'll talk about that soon too.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hopper and Elle,
Love it.
love it.
that's
So
the
good.
best. It
Best.
is the central.
Best
Yeah.
dad-daughter relationship
Oh, absolutely. Because
Yeah.
you have a look at how they were in season 2 and they were like butting heads a lot because it's like, I guess Hopper's essentially adopted
Yeah.
this girl and she has kind of like no choice in the matter. If you really think of it,
Yeah.
it's like, well, I need someone to look after me or help me survive because I'm fucking a little girl.
Well,
Yeah.
Hopper's the one that essentially made her feel loved.
Yeah.
Sort of
Yes.
back in season 2, made her realize that, she had people
Yeah.
around her. You know what I mean? So good on them. We can all agree with that. Last one, Alexia Murray. I love it.
I love that. I love it.
I want to see a spin-off series of them just doing road trips.
Yeah, like a buddy cop show.
Yeah.
One of them's dead, Cade.
Yeah,
So-
Just
you know.
alternative universe, mate.
Look,
Yeah.
he just wanted his goddamn cherry slushy and he never got it. All right.
Yeah.
But
You had to
strawberry,
drink some
strawberry
sort of-
tastes the same. It's fine.
He was scared
Yeah.
out of his mind when he said that. Strawberry doesn't taste the same as cherry. All right. What I want to know, this is a big question that I have. We all know Steve, by far, Steve Harrington has the best hair.
He does.
Oh, he easily does.
Easily. Like there's no competition for first place. But I want to know who had the second best hair of the season. I'll give you some options.
Okay.
All right, I've got some options for you. If you don't agree with any of them, that's fine. If you got your own thing, go for that. You got Billy,
Mhm.
Billy with his long, luscious locks. You've got Dustin, who Steve even says has great hair at some point.
Yeah.
Mm.
Those curls do get the girls.
That's right. They do get the girls.
Yeah.
You've got Mike, who I threw on there. He's just got a lot of hair.
He's got a lot of hair.
I do also
Got that
He's got a
reference
sick bob going
later
on.
in the notes that he has shit hair. Elle, she gets some real hair for the first
Yeah.
time. So,
Yeah.
that's there. Hopper's mustache,
Oh.
technically hair.
Yeah.
And Grigori with his Terminator hair. That's the Terminator guy.
Oh, man.
Every time that guy came on screen, I was like, this fucking guy again?
This fucking guy. He's like
Yeah.
the Terminator. He just won't stop.
No.
What do you got? Who you pick?
Oh, look. You can't go past Hopper's mustache.
Oh, yeah.
That's a mustache,
That's
right?
a soup,
that everyone
that's
wants.
soup catcher.
Oh, yeah.
Soup strain or whatever it is.
I'm all about Billy's mullet.
Oh,
Yeah.
all about Billy's
Curly
mullet.
mullet.
Oh, I'm all about the curls, but I'm all about the Dustin curls.
Oh, yeah.
And he's been getting tips off Steve.
He has,
clearly,
exactly.
So it's, I support that as
Exactly.
well.
Man, how much did Dustin grow as a character in this season?
So
Heaps.
much.
He
So
was the
cute.
best.
He's just so cute. I can't say every time somebody mentions Dustin, I'm like, he's so cute.
So cute.
He's so cute. I
Everyone
love
loves
him.
Dustin.
I think he would be everyone's favorite character.
Okay, well, let's just quickly throw it out there. Do you have a favorite character?
Yeah.
Who is it?
Dustin.
It's Dustin.
Yeah. It followed
Steve for
very
me personally,
closely
but
by
that's okay.
Steve.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, well,
And
look,
and them together is just
yeah.
Yeah. Dustin.
Ooh.
Oh, I ship Dustin. All right, well, let's jump to look, I want to talk about who effectively, similar to what we did with Game of Thrones, who had the best season, who had the worst season.
yeah.
All right, so I'm going to throw this out there for you. I'm going to give you some options
All right.
and the reasons why I've picked them, right? If you have something else that you want to add, shut up. This is
I worked hard on
this is
this
not
list.
your time.
His Kate's just going to be like, Blue Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least he's actually seen this one, so he can contribute better.
Jokes
You contributed well.
Yeah. Hey, look, we got feedback from that
I
episode.
think everybody
Yeah.
really appreciated your viewpoint.
It's fine. It's fine.
Your clueless viewpoint.
All right. Well, let's talk about the season MVP then. And some of the
Okay.
some of the nominations are Will, because if it wasn't for the hair on the back of that kid's neck, they never would have known when the mind flayer was coming.
Yeah.
Fuck Will. Like, there was this one moment in this whole series where I was like, I fucking hate him.
Aw.
Like,
Will the Wise.
yes.
Come
More
on,
like
man.
Will the whiner.
Wow.
Oh.
Like when he was look, how old is he?
They're all 13 or
Let's
something.
say 13.
Okay, let's say 13. He goes to his little fort in the forest and has a cry.
Yeah, but then he trashed the shit out of it like a man.
It was not like a man. He hit that with his little girl arms.
Come on, he was just he. It's like at a point like that kid has been through so much, right? He's
Mm.
literally been trapped in the upside down. He's been directly connected to the mind flayer.
Yeah, so he
now
should
he's got
be
this neck issue.
So he should be
He's got a neck issue.
He's got a neck
I
issue
feel that.
because of it. And all these friends, all they give a shit about. Dustin's nowhere to be seen. Fucking Lucas is
Hey,
constantly talking about Max.
I don't see Will going
Mike's
after Dustin.
No, but you know what I mean. Like it's not as easy as that. Mike is, constantly talking about Elle, et cetera, et cetera.
And
So
all
he-
Will wants to do is play
he just
fucking
wants to play
Dungeons
fucking
and
Dungeons and
Dragons and
Dragons.
have a cry in the
Yeah,
fucking
but it's kind of
rainforest.
it's time for Will to grow up a little
Yeah,
bit.
exactly,
Though.
right.
And that's a hard
Look, I
realization
think-
that he had to come to.
I think he does by the end
Yeah.
of it. I think he
Yeah.
does by the end of it. Also in favor for Will, he's not afraid to dress up as a wizard while all his mates get girlfriends.
that's bravery.
Elle.
Yes.
All right. So Elle effectively kicked the living shit out of anything that got in their way. She flipped a fucking car.
Okay. What is with her powers? Because they vary so much.
Well, I think the more she concentrates, the more she can do.
Yeah.
But
And
Then
it
when,
does
it's when she
cost
gets
her.
the double nosebleed, that's when you
That's
know
when
she's working hard.
That's like Ash Ketchum when he puts his hat backwards.
yeah,
shit's
you know
going
shit's
down.
going down.
Yeah, if there's ever been a parallel, I've always thought of the double nosebleed as the backwards hat for
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So she flipped a car. She pulled a monster out of her own leg. She got her first boyfriend. Then she dumped that motherfucker like a boss. She became.
Did she, though?
She did.
She said,
Why
"I
don't-
dump your ass."
She
That's
said,
what
"I dumped your ass."
It was weak.
Oh, it was not. She walked right up to him, and Will was scared shitless. He didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, because she can explode people. He's just like, fucking don't sneeze.
Don't explode me. And most importantly, she became a style icon.
Yeah,
For
she
sure.
did,
Yeah.
didn't she?
Yeah, she was like very snazzy.
Very snazzy, like
Yeah.
instantly. You know what I mean? She just had
Absolutely.
it. She just knew it. Dustin, obviously, sick science skills, made a sick radio tower, actually got a for reals girlfriend, and almost single-handedly discovered the plot of The Russians. And he had his own musical solo.
Even though you didn't enjoy it that much.
And he's got, in my opinion, the second best hair.
Yeah.
I liked
Yes.
it. I just thought it was too long. All right. Second best hair by far. Still doesn't have teeth. Waiting for those things.
I
to
think
come
that's
in.
like an actual disorder
No, he
he
has
has.
a-
No, it
disorder.
is.
Yeah.
He mentions it.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
All right, Hopper is another
Yeah.
another candidate. Sick shirts, sick mo, handy in a fist fight.
Oh, is he handy?
Hey, yes, he defeated
has
the
hands.
Russian Terminator. He got hands.
Yeah.
He learns to love again.
Mm,
You know,
didn't we all?
and he's effectively the hero that saves the day and closes the gateway to the upside down. And he may or may not be dead. He might still be alive. We
Okay,
don't know.
Let's talk about Hopper for a bit.
All right.
Is he gone?
No,
No,
Where
no
is he?
chance. Well,
in the upside down.
there's a couple of things. He could be in the upside down.
That's what I'm feeling.
The Russians could have him, although I don't know how he would survive. This
'cause
isn't
they
an
did,
unanswered question.
Like they referenced the American
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
the end, which could be Hopper.
Could be Hopper, could
Could
be
be-
Murray.
Could be Murray.
We don't know. We didn't
Yeah.
see Murray
Yeah.
again, and Murray
You know
left
what?
Joyce like a weird voicemail.
It
So
could be maybe one of the other kids from the
Oh, like
Oh, yeah.
either like 1 to 7 or like
Yeah.
9 or 10.
yeah, could be them. Could be either way. I think there is a reason why Elle has lost her powers,
Mm.
right? And that's so because if she had them, she'd be able to find him straight away.
Yeah, exactly.
Would she
Yes.
search for him? We don't know.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
maybe, but because she thinks he's dead. But she might try, and she would be able to find him straight away. So
Yeah.
with her
Yeah.
not having her powers, that's perfect for her
Adds to that
not
mystery.
it does.
Yeah.
And her
Yeah.
not being able to find Hopper so
It
easily.
leaves it open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's in the upside down or if he's in the Russian prison.
How'd he
But
get to the
I
Russian
don't know
prison?
how he got to the Russian prison.
He
That's
went into
only
the
thing.
upside down and they grabbed him out of there.
Maybe
Could be.
they got a
Could be.
demodog
Mm.
or actual demogorgon.
Demogorgon.
Yes,
Yeah.
Demogorgon. Because I thought, I bet you fucking Demogorgon, Gog, whatever they call
Yeah,
it.
go-
The Demodog.
that's it. Yeah.
Yep. Comes out of there and I was like, yeah, fucking knew it. And then the motherfucker stood up and I was like,
That's a
Damn.
full-on Gorgon.
Ooh.
And the last one, of course, is Steve. World's
Yeah.
best dad. World's best hair.
you know what? I'm going to put money on it that Steve has the best season next season.
He's probably
Well, Yeah, well, I think he had the best season this season.
He might have been the season MVP. He won his first fight, Gate.
Oh, he did.
He won his first fight. He's now 2-1.
He is.
Right?
Yeah.
He's ready for a title bout.
He is.
But I think he's gonna find his girl next season.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, possibly. It'll be interesting to see like where he goes. Because at the moment he's just working in a video store. Potentially. So we'll see what happens. Who's your winner out of those? You got someone else that you wanna throw in there? Who had the best season?
Oh.
Rachel?
I think Steve did.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Steve did.
Yeah, Steve was pretty good.
Yeah.
He showed so much character development.
And, like-
he was funny. He was gorgeous. He had the hair. You know, he went full Mama Steve. He also was a great dad,
Yeah.
as you said, and you know, and a real leader of that Scoops troop.
Yeah.
And I think he had the best season by far.
Okay, cool. Kate?
Yeah, I think Steve was great. I mean, he basically found all these Russians. And like this is a whole side story that we really haven't touched on.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck did these Russians actually get into this?
How did they build?
How did they build
Uh,
that?
How did they build all of that?
We got some unanswered questions coming up, my friends.
okay, all right.
Don't spoil the
Don't
content.
spoil
Okay.
it. So you say Steve as well?
Yeah, Steve or Hopper. I
Okay.
mean, Hopper had a really, really great season.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's about Hopper finding himself.
Yeah.
He can find that heart. And then he just makes the ultimate sacrifice. He
does.
That he didn't want to do.
He
but
didn't want to do it, but he's like, fuck, what am I going to
I
do?
got to do it.
I would have tried to jump through the electricity.
Well, that's dead for
Well,
sure.
Well, you
You
know
did-
that
you're
shit's going
dead
to
or dead.
explode.
Well,
But then there's the possibility that he's not dead. So,
Yeah,
okay,
like it
maybe
just-
he made the smart choice, and maybe you're a
motherfucker
dumbass.
wouldn't know that. He's like next to this giant laser thing that he got told, like, when that thing shuts off, everyone dies.
Yeah.
Don't be near it. And he's like literally standing right next to it. I would have like tried to jump
But
through.
you know what electricity can do to you as well. You've lived. Like, you know what I mean?
I think I would survive an electric shock more than I would a massive explosion.
That kind
Okay.
of electric shock.
Maybe.
It looked very staticky.
Anyway, to keep the show rolling, you say Steve. You say Steve?
Yes.
Steve / Hopper?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Dustin.
Dustin.
Okay.
Fucking little kid deserves it.
Yeah, why not?
All right. So who had the worst season? All right, I'm going to give you some options again.
Okay.
And
Will. Like, you don't even need to give me options.
Hey. Just listening, hear it
Okay,
out,
okay.
and then we'll see if you still agree with Will. So Joyce. So last season she lost Bob, which she obviously isn't over, as we see in this season. This season she seemingly loses Hopper. We don't know that for sure, but I don't know if she has a thing for him or not. We can't tell, but there's obviously a connection.
He's
there
been
between the two.
friend-zoned.
Yeah. And she has to leave her hometown and take on another kid as a single mum who works in a fucking supermarket or whatever.
Yeah.
That's hard. She got 3 kids now.
Yeah. Actually, was she working there or was she the owner of that business?
She is not the owner of that business.
You sure?
Yeah, because in season 1, where she's going like cuckoo bananas, she has to keep asking her boss, or her boss tells
that's
her,
right.
whatever. So we've got Elle again. Okay, so you could go either way.
Sorry, just to go back. Why did Joyce have to leave town? Because she's over that shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like,
she's done. She was already thinking of leaving anyway. She
Yeah.
needed to move on.
Do you blame her?
no.
Yeah,
Like,
fuck that.
I mean, this shit happens every year in
Yeah.
Hawkins. Like, it's
Yeah.
time to go. Like, all you got to do is move away and you'll be
Yeah.
fine. So we got Elle. So Elle, on the flip side of being having the MVP season, constantly getting harassed by the Mind Flayer, finally starts to have a bit of a normal life, and then here comes the Mind Flayer again. She loses her powers, loses her dad, loses her boyfriend, and has to move away with fucking Will the Wise. So, so she got a strong case.
Yeah. Oh, she really got the shit end of this thing.
She really did.
You know he's going to be like, let's play Dungeons and Dragons, Elle.
She's like, where the fuck are my
Fucking
powers? I
kid.
just want to fly out of here.
She can't fly.
Bet you she could later on.
All right, Billy is the next option. So started the show as the hot guy with an easy job, and Cougar's out to get him at every corner. He ends up leading the army of the Mind Flayer and being dead. Pretty
Maybe.
shit,
That's
shit
pretty
season.
shit.
I think that dude's dead.
You reckon?
I would put money on Billy being dead.
Yeah, I think he might be dead.
I like to think that Billy had a kick-ass season because he was a fantastic character,
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
but like his end result is obviously terrible. He turned into something absolutely shit.
But he was heroic. He effectively
exactly.
saved Elle
Yes.
and sacrificed himself
Yeah.
in doing so.
I love
He
that
doesn't know Elle.
He was like a villain-ish type character who wasn't actually all that bad, who was then possessed by a thing that made him like an actual villain.
Yeah.
And then died kind of like a hero.
Yeah. Oh, he definitely died like a hero.
He was very
for sure.
complex character.
He was. He really was.
And hot as fuck.
And he's hot. Did we mention that? Did we mention how hot Billy is? Will, this is Cade's odds-on favorite.
Just wait. One last thing
yeah.
about Billy.
Yeah.
Did anyone else find it weird that he was just revving his car whenever those people came outside of the
I don't understand why he was there for so long.
Just drive it, bro.
Revving his car.
I know it was weird, wasn't it?
I had a little laugh. I was like, "Oh, he's still there, revving the car."
Okay, here's how I will attempt to justify that, and that's Billy having an internal battle within himself.
Okay.
So him kind of knowing that, you know, what he's about to do is wrong and he doesn't want to do it and he doesn't want to kill his friends or whatever. And then it's the flip side of that is the mind flayer controlling him and making him do it. So it's kind of that internal battle, which he eventually has and wins over.
That's so deep, Troy. I love that.
Fucking, you know, pay attention when you're watching shows.
I like to
man.
think that like
he's just sitting there.
Yeah,
he's just sitting there revving, like menacingly revving the car.
I would have loved to seen like moments where the crew are running through the shopping center and they look out the window and he's still there going run, run, run.
Okay, look, we've got to move on. Cade's odds on favorite Will. So got dogged by all his mates when they get girlfriends. Can't seem to break his connection with the mind flayer, who is basically his girlfriend in my opinion.
Who's to say what sex that is?
Yeah, exactly. So he ends up having to leave Hawkins and leave all his mates behind. Gets a sister that is 11 times cooler than him.
Oh.
Hey, see what I did there? And he still lives with Joyce.
Yeah.
Sad ones.
So that's pretty bad. We've got Mike, and this is legit. Honestly, I don't remember him doing a thing other than pining over Elle. He was a total jerk to Hopper, which I didn't think was in his character. They kind of just bought that out. Like, I'm going to be a prick. Like, while Hopper's trying to have the first sort of talk to him.
He's hormonal. It's
No,
fine.
Mike is like a little bit of a hothead though.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, I never saw him kind of do it like that bad.
Nah, I'm
He was. Are you talking about when he's like, "Oh, we're about to get
We're about to get in trouble. Yeah, like that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
he's a
Like
little
that
bit
was
of a
real.
shit.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Speaking of shit, he's got shit hair.
Oh,
He's got the worst.
And is somehow still regarded as a hero. And the final one, this is basically the Night King of this season, the Mind Flayer. For the third year in a row, this salty bastard has had his ass handed to him by a bunch of tweens. And he just, can't seem to cut a break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, who had the worst
Will.
season? Still going Will?
Yeah,
After
easily.
all the evidence in front of you, still going Will?
Oh, mate. Sports bet having 10 to 1.
Is first try scorer or your money back. Are you just saying that because you hate the character?
I hate the character, and he just had a shit season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like he just whined the whole season.
The whole season.
Yeah.
And his only purpose was to say, he's coming or he's here.
At least he
touch
had a
his neck.
purpose.
He's like, oh, guys, I got chills, and it's multiplying.
Oh my god.
Oh, no.
So you say Will still, Rachel?
I was initially going to go with Billy because I feel really bad for him.
Yeah.
But then upon hearing you, I think I'm going to go with Elle
Yeah.
because
that would be my
she
pick.
really had it rough.
Yeah, she did.
She really had it rough.
She's like,
When you laid it all out there, I was like, oh, God, the poor girl.
she's gone from having no one to having a family to having no
no
one
one.
to having kind of like a new family.
But it's Will.
But it's
Except
Will,
it's
and,
Will and
Joyce
Joyce.
and Jonathan.
God, I forgot
the
about
shittest
Jonathan.
family. So you go Elle, I go Elle, you say Will still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so how are we doing for time? We're getting close, aren't we?
Yeah, we're getting close.
Look, I do want to, this is a very quick one. Who's your best new character?
Robin.
Well, I was going to say Alexi, Erica, Robin.
Just Robin.
Robin?
Well, just to be different, I'll say Erica because I love them equally.
Okay.
And you can't spell America without Erica.
Ooh, she's got
The
me.
best thing she did was the first interaction that she had with Lucas.
Which is like, isn't it time to die?
Yeah. I thought that was hilarious. Then she kind of got on my nerves a little bit.
She was the same character on repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I loved everything about it though. From she's like, commence Operation Child Endangerment
Yeah.
to, demanding her free ice cream for life to
Yeah.
switching off Dustin and Susie. I loved her. Sass Bucket. I love her.
I'm
She
going
was
to go
good.
Miss Dingus herself, Robin,
Yeah.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah,
let's,
but we need to give props to Alexi too because he was adorable.
it was adorable.
It was okay.
Get out of here.
That face though.
All right, look, I do have a couple of unanswered questions. We'll run through these quickly. The first one that I had was, what was the green goo? Can anybody explain that? So there were boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of this acidic, because you see it like eat through the floor
Yeah,
like in
yeah.
Aliens.
I think it's just a fuel.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's some sort of
Like
a fuel
like a
source.
plutonium
for
or something like
yeah,
that.
Oh, yeah, something radioactive.
Did they ever
perhaps.
reference it? Did I miss it? Or is it just something that was
No.
like, look at all this stuff that we're not
I
going to
think
tell
so,
you
No,
what it
because
is.
it's green and it's glowing. They don't need to explain
Yeah.
it.
Okay, we
Yeah,
just
you know
we
it's
just
bad.
know. We know it's
bad
bad.
stuff.
Why was everyone eating chemicals? Did they ever explain fully why they initially started eating chemicals and then didn't?
No, they didn't. But I think it maybe was something to do with to help them combust or something.
Right. So that effectively turns them into the goo.
Into
Yeah.
the goo
And
that
then-
goes.
The goo that becomes part of you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's actually a pretty good answer.
Yeah, that's my
kind of makes
scientific-
more sense. We spoke about this one before. Is Hopper dead? If not, how did he survive? Would be my question, because we saw it at the start where the thing explodes and everyone just instantly kind of blows up.
I
Yeah.
reckon he has taken a Hail Mary jump into
Into
the
the
outside.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he knew it was coming,
Yeah.
and he's just like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm gonna risk it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna jump through this wall, vagina.
Why not?
See,
Yeah.
see what's
I'm
on the
gonna
other
reverse
side.
It really
birth
was
this.
like a vagina.
Reverse birth it. I'm gonna reverse birth this wall.
Yeah.
Hey, why didn't Billy take Mike's mum to the Mind Flayer? It seemed like he had a really kind of good in on that, and he just never went there. Like we see it with the Flash, where he kind of like flashes that he smashes her head, never
Yeah.
actually does it or
Yeah.
whatever. Why it would seem though that would be a really sort of easy choice for him.
Well, perhaps it was like what you were saying with the car revving.
He's like, I still want to bang that.
He was internally battling with himself. Yeah, I still want to bang her.
Yeah, okay, well that's fair. And the other chick he just didn't give a shit about.
Yeah.
He's like, you think I'm going to take this Tina fucking chick over Karen? Hell no,
dreaming.
you're dreaming. All right, that's fair. We did touch on this before, but how big is the Starcourt Mall?
It's freaking massive.
It's huge.
I want to know if someone, because I don't want to look it up, I can't be bothered, but can someone, find out the supposed population of Hawkins, Indiana
Yeah.
at this time and find out how the hell they got such a big mall? And we know why they got one, because the mayor was in on it and he was working with the Russians and
Yeah.
they had to build it to fucking whatever. I get it. But still, it seems
I want to know where
excessive.
all the dirt is from those tunnels.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like they had this whole underground facility, but nobody from Hawkins really noticed that whole thing was happening.
Yeah.
Unless that's a very old facility.
Oh, look, it could be.
Like a repurposed one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's kind of weird that, and again, we touched on this earlier, that there were just Russians everywhere
Yeah.
in Hawkins, Indiana, and no one
And-
seemed to care.
And looking
Yeah.
very stereotypical.
Like very stereotypical Russian.
Very Russian.
Like he's wearing fingerless gloves.
He's got a duffel bag. That's pretty much all I've got, though.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any others? I've probably got more if I think about it. But
Look, I have one question.
yeah.
What do you want from season 4?
Oh boy.
Can I give you like a quick rundown of what I want?
Yes.
Okay.
I want a rundown of what happens with these other kids.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I reckon 11 is not going to have her powers for this whole season.
Ooh, that's a trope of mine that I hate.
Yeah.
It's not a
But they'll
trope
do
of
it.
mine,
They'll
but it's
do
a
it.
trope that I hate. I hope not.
Because
And like it'll end with her getting her powers back.
yeah, because I reckon we'll get like a little super team.
You do.
But they have no
okay.
skills.
Hey, that chick could do stuff.
Yeah.
Can't remember what
Which-
her powers
No,
were.
there was
Which
only
chick?
one. There was only
Eight.
one
Oh,
other girl that
Yeah.
had the powers. Like there'll be others out there.
Yeah, no, but there's 11 of them.
Yeah. Well, there could be more.
Well, yeah.
Oh, you mean you think that the other numbers are going to come?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because I reckon there's going to be something that's like drawn them because like this is a huge like event in the Upside Down. They're coming to
Yeah.
the normal world.
Yep.
I reckon there'd be like an energy release or something like that. It's like a beacon for them to come home.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting.
But where is home? Is home Hawkins?
Well, beware that happened. And I
So
guess
they would have to come back
Yeah.
from wherever they are.
Yeah.
Cool. That's yeah, okay. That could happen. There's definitely going to be some Russian action. That's for sure. Kind of finished on that. Like they seem to be, the ones that are
they
still.
are the people.
Yeah, and I think the Russians are going to have like one of these numbers, and they'll be bad.
Yeah, so you don't think it's
bad
Hopper?
Number.
You don't think it's Hopper?
No,
in the thing?
not at all.
Okay, interesting. I just want to see more Steve.
Yeah. I just need more Steve in my life.
Actually, what I'd really like to see is I'd like to see the kids kind of just go back to normal for a bit.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Just chill out.
Yeah,
Just
that
have
would
some
be
time
nice.
off, and then something happens.
yeah.
I don't know how it's going to happen though. Like I'm not really sure how the Mind Flayer's going to get himself out of this one.
Well, you see, I don't want the Mind Flayer to be the villain again. That's why I want a person.
Well, what is it though? That's
One
the
of the
thing
numbers.
because we know
One of the numbers,
but we
yeah.
know that it's got like that. We know they've got a Demogorgon in Russia, so it's not over, and they're still trying.
Oh,
it would
but
seem to
hell-
open the gate.
So
Yeah.
maybe a number and a Demogorgon are like teaming up,
Yeah,
and then
it's all about
it's
all about team ups in this.
That's right. And then, maybe there's one or two numbers that find their way back to Hawkins.
Yep.
And then Elle comes back and her powers are starting to, but they're not quite there yet. And then comes like a
moment of
thing-
truth.
Like a moment of truth. And she's got the double nosebleed and it's happening.
And she's bleeding out the ears.
And one ear is going, yep. And then all the other numbers come in and it's like an endgame situation.
Yeah,
yeah, that's it.
We just wrote it.
and Elle's like numbers assemble, and then they all have to sound.
She pulls
off.
out the calculator.
Like 1, 2, 3, 4.
two.
But she just puts boobies upside
Yeah.
down. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Look, a lot of that can happen, but I don't know. We'll have to wait
Only
and see.
problem is like, where do they go after that?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. Like, I think it would be weird if those kids don't turn up again at some point, like the ones
Yeah.
that you're referencing. I think it would be weird to have that one episode, and then it's kind of like, nah, we'll never speak about that again. I also think it would be very weird and possibly pushing the limits of what storytelling can be if they go back to the Mind Flayer again. So I think they definitely need a new threat. And it needs to be different to what we've seen already. Because 3 seasons is great, but that's kind of enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe everyone gets trapped in the Upside Down this season. Maybe they spend the whole season in the Upside
Oh
Down.
yeah, that would be good.
Perhaps.
Yeah, something like
it's
that.
like
Yeah.
a journey to find if
A journey to find Hopper.
Yeah.
Yep.
They try to find Hopper.
the rescue mission.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they spend the whole season, they're like, fuck it, we're going to go deeper.
Yeah.
And then they go in.
Not bad. I like that.
Okay, cool.
Oh, imagine if Hopper came out and he was like a human Demogorgon.
No, Hopper's a good guy.
Ew.
No, I want
He
that.
can't be bad.
I want that. What a twist.
What a twist.
I think the reason why they haven't brought those other kids back, the numbers I'm saying, is because of that one episode. It just was not well received. And so they're like, oh, let's just can that for a bit.
Yeah, I suppose.
Maybe they'll come. But, now that everybody's asking about it, maybe they'll bring them all.
Yeah, look, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just think it's weird that they didn't touch on them at all.
We can't touch on Kids Code. The only thing, the only thing that I want is not to have to wait 2 more years
that how long
for
we
season
waited?
4.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was 2
Fuck.
years.
2 years, my friend. Too long.
Damn.
Too goddamn long.
Give us a Christmas special.
Look, these kids will be 17 if we have to wait 2 more years.
Bless them.
They're all about 15-ish now. So
I dig that. I dig that.
It's
like
you can't dig kids, Kate.
Cut it
Well,
out.
it'll be 1987 in Hawkins, Indiana. Steve will be 30.
Yeah.
No,
The
he'll be
best year ever.
he'll be, what'll he be? He's like what, 17 we're saying now? So he'll be like 19.
Yeah.
So he'll be,
Yeah.
so yeah, look, it's all possible to keep him like, that age and stuff.
He got accepted into the college that he wants. He went and got those extra credits.
Yeah, he did. Don't make me wait 2 years, you guys. All right.
You will be.
All right. That is it, my friend. That's it for the week. We're
Yeah,
done.
that's it. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, make sure you give us a 5-star review on iTunes.
Yeah, do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, you can do that. Or you can jump onto patreon.com/Comic Con Pod and support us that way for as little as $2 a month.
And if you want to check out past episodes or the other great shows on our network, head to ccradio.com.au.
And a sneaky little bird tells me there might be a new show coming there soon, eh? Maybe,
I could be involved with it.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You don't know.
You
You don't know. So stop trying to guess. Finally, make sure you head to our Facebook listener community and join in on the fun with a bunch of great members. Just search Comic Confidential Listener Community on Facebook. That's it. As always, I'm Troy.
I'm Cade.
I'm Rachel.
And this has been Comic Confidential.
Cheers.
Peace.
Bye.
That's what you're going with.
Bye.
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 Wow.
So
Peace out.
fucking
Ciao, mama.
Ciao from Mama Steve.
Whoa. Yeah. Cool.
Mm.
Love it. You gonna hit stop? You don't have to.